Hello, welcome back to Influencers, where today we have the Attorney General of the state of Nevada, Aaron Ford. Tell us what your priorities are in your role as Attorney General.
I've shared the priorities in what I call my 3 C's. These are the umbrella items, but there are several others as well that I'll be working on. But the first C is consumer protection. One of the jobs of the Attorney General is to ensure that people like you and me and our family members, our consumers, aren't scammed.
That's right.
That businesses are treating us right.
By the way, that's near and dear to my heart because in the Hispanic community,
absolutely,
predators.
absolutely. And so understanding that is one of the reasons why that first C is consumer protection. The second C, as I've talked about a minute ago, is protecting our constitutional and our civil rights. And so ensuring that the things that our government is doing, whether it's the state government or the federal government or local governments, are not infringing upon our rights to be, for example, free from unreasonable searches and seizures, or that we are not treated unfairly because of the way we look or who we love, those types of things. And then the third C is criminal justice reform, both criminal justice and reform, and ensuring that, again, we have a system that is fair, that punishes those who are wrongdoers, but but is a fair arbiter, if you will, of all who come before it. I'll have some other priorities as well, dealing with sexual harassment, sex trafficking and things of that sort, as well as mental health and substance abuse issues, and ways we can use the criminal courts to help rectify some of those, diversion courts rather, as opposed to criminal courts to rectify some of those issues.
That's excellent. Are you happy with what you're seeing in diversity in political offices? I think we're starting to. I was at the governor's state of the state, and I looked around the room, and we're getting there.
Look at where we are, man. This is something that's, understand this. Now, we were able to hear our governor talk about the first female majority legislature in the history of our nation.
Yes.
That's fantastic. But don't let it be lost on anyone that we also have 2 African-American men running both branches of the legislature.
That's right.
That was the case last go around. You also have in me, although I'm not bragging about it, I'm the first African-American male, African-American generally, to be elected to a statewide constitutional office.
You should brag about it because there's other people watching. We always must remember there's young people watching.
That's right. That's right. Then you have a majority female Supreme Court as well.
It's amazing.
The 3 large cities in our state, Las Vegas, Henderson, and Reno, the women, the mayors are women. And so we have diversity in this state that we should be proud of, that we should continue also, however, to augment.
How historical is the moment for you and your family?
It hits me ever so often. I do recognize that I'm the first African American to be elected to a statewide constitutional office. And we can't forget about Justice Michael Douglas, who was the first African American elected to the Supreme Court in that regard.
Good man.
Absolutely, very good mentor to me. But I view this as an opportunity to show not just African American young men, particularly, what they can aspire to, but all of us. Right? Because again, our backgrounds shouldn't always, determine our ultimate outcomes.
That's
and I've been able to go through times in life that were very difficult, when I became a single parent in college and almost dropped out of college, went from almost having 0 degrees to having 5 degrees, and now here I am as a top law enforcement officer in the state. So that my life, I hope, speaks to some out there who are looking at this as an opportunity to learn.
Oh, it will. We will be back with our last segment with our Attorney General, Aaron Ford, in a moment.